Hello friends, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are talking Everton. They've just recorded their first win against West Ham, and I'm wondering whether they have turned a corner. They put in a very good performance, and I think that if we dive into the tactics board and have a look at their starting lineup and the way that they played, I think we might be able to uncover how Frank Lampard has been able to almost turn Everton's fortunes around. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload, and let's talk about, have Everton turned a corner? Before we head into the tactics board, let's have a look at the table and where Everton sit. They currently sit in 13th position. They have 7 points from their first 7 games. They've drawn 4 games, won 1 and lost 2. But my most impressive thing is that they have only conceded 6 goals in those 7 matches. When you take into consideration they've already played Chelsea and they've played Liverpool, that's a very, very big feat. They actually have the joint best defensive record in the league at the moment. So Frank Lampard has clearly got them working on something, and he's clearly got them adapting to a style of play to make them more difficult to break down. So right now, let's head into the tactics board and have a look at how it's managed to happen. Okay, here we have the Everton team that played West Ham. Obviously, there are a couple of changes from a starting 11 Everton side, but this is the team they went for, so this is the team that we're going to be looking at. Obviously, Begovic would not be in goal, it would be Pickford, and I would reckon that Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be playing instead of Maupay. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure this is a very, very strong Everton starting 11. When we look at how Everton did last season, how close they got to relegation, when you go back into a new season, you need to do a couple of things, especially to make sure that you don't slip yourself into that same slot, into that same mood and mindset. One of the first things you need to do is you need to stop conceding goals. We've seen this with Everton this season. They've made it a priority to stop conceding. As it has been shown, we have seen that Everton are the joint best, or they have the joint best defensive record in the Premier League at the moment with only 6 goals. That is fantastic, and that is down to a couple of things which we're going to go through right now. The first one of these are 2 people on the wings. I'm not talking about the actual wingers. They are Patterson and they are Mykolenko. These are energetic powerhouses who are able to bomb up and down the pitch continuously. They make it a habit and a business of making sure they can make driving runs up to support the attack and make sure they get back just in time. They are limitless energy, and they give everything to the cause. And it helps that they're very, very young, which is why they're able to do that. Patterson being only 20 years old and Mykolenko being 23. The second thing that Everton have done, and Frank Lampard has done specifically, is look to get a little bit more strength in depth in terms of the defensive positions. And I'm talking about Connor Cody and I'm talking about Tarkowski. Together, both of them as a pair, I think work really well. Cody, specifically, is a very good natural leader. He likes speaking a lot and he likes communicating to his defence what he needs. If he needs Patterson to drop a bit deeper, he can tell that. If he needs the line to be a little bit higher, he can tell that. If he needs to be instructing Idrissa Gana Gueye on where he needs to be going, what he needs to be doing, he can do that also. He reads the game and he actually is a very, very good communicator. Couple that with Tarkowski, who at his time at Burnley was very good at marshalling that defence and making sure that they ground out every single point that they possibly could. Couple these two together and you've actually got a very good partnership in terms of leadership, in terms of organisation, and in terms of just all-round professional quality. Moving forwards, we have a blockbuster of a midfield in terms of destructive midfield players. We have Alex Iwobi, who has transformed his form from a winger or a number 10 into a number 8, which works extremely well for him. He's got such energy, he's very good on the ball, and he can rotate the ball around and recycle it as much as he possibly needs to. We also have Onana, who has recently come into this Everton side. He is very good on the ball, he reads the game very well, and he also can get towards attacking positions. I think we're going to see a couple of goals from him coming into the latter stages of the season. And then, of course, you've got Idrissa Gana Gueye, who is a massive, massive bonus for Frank Lampard and his side. The way that he plays football and the way that he really reads the game and is so defensively minded, and the way he sticks his foot in, gets a tackle in, and makes sure that the Everton are on the front foot, but in a defensive manner. He is very, very good at that, extremely energetic, and that's why PSG wanted him. PSG obviously found him surplus to requirements, and I'm sure Frank Lampard and Everton are buzzing that he is back with that side. But these three together are a destructive just dream. They are going to be hustling, harrying, making sure that there's no time on the ball for any of the opposition. And that's kind of what happened with West Ham. They were always putting the pressure, they were always there. And if they weren't there, they were always back in their defensive shape, making sure they were difficult to break down, making sure that these passing lanes, these channels that I like, are not available. Onana dropped in here, Iwobi dropped in here, and they were always covering to help each other, always making sure that they went in packs, never leaving a man by themselves. It was brilliant to watch, and I'm sure this is through instruction from Frank Lampard, who wants his team to stop conceding goals. Moving forward, we obviously have the luxury players. We have Anthony Gordon, who is very good, very, very good. I'm not sure he's necessarily worth the money that Chelsea were willing to pay for him in the summer. However, he is a fantastic young talent. And we have Demarai Gray, who has been very, very good of late. That is incorrectly spelled, so we're going to do that. We have Demarai Gray, who is absolutely fantastic at just running the channels and making sure he has options. He's very good at dribbling with the ball, and he can go either way. He can cut inside or he can go on the outside. His quality needs to be a little bit better, as I felt that against West Ham, Everton were let down by their overall lack of quality going forwards. But they got the win, and that's the main thing. They haven't conceded again, and it's just a very, very positive outlook. Gray and Gordon can both go either inside or out, specifically inside, as they would then like the energetic powerhouses of Patterson and Mykolenko to be able to bomb up the pitch and take up these wide positions. When they take up these wide positions, Gray can obviously come inside, and then you've got the entire team moving up the pitch, which allows them to essentially dominate the ball and dominate possession. Maupay would be in the centre spot here. The one thing that I was disappointed about with Everton, and it was specifically with one of the players, and it was Maupay. I didn't think that when Everton were really under it, and when they were really pressured, and when it got a bit difficult, when the likes of Patterson here or Mykolenko got the ball, Maupay never made a run to the channels. It was very rare that he did that. It was very rare that he would be able to find this space in here or this space in here, just a challenge, and to be able to give the Everton players the option of booting the ball up the pitch to get them 10 yards further forward, to be able to give them a little bit of a rest. He didn't do that enough, and he just watched the play happen. Perhaps that's going to come later on. Perhaps it's too early in his Everton career for that to be established. I would like to see him start doing that, because this is a very, very team-orientated squad. It's all about the performance as a whole, not as individuals. And I think that Maupay, while he got his goal, I think he could have done a little bit better in helping out his squad. But even Maupay, to be honest, did his job. He got his goal, and it was a brilliant performance from Everton going forwards and defending. Specifically defending, I think not enough credit is given to Frank Lampard for the way that he has set his team up in this formation. This defensive line and this midfield line is so difficult to get through. It's extremely difficult to get through. And remember, the more times they will play with each other, the more experience they will get, and the more comfortable they will all get being in the same team together. Gordon, I think you can expect more goals from coming down from this side. Gray, I think you're going to see him cut inside a little bit more, perhaps into this channel. I think he likes that. I'd like to see him do that and then get crosses into the likes of Maupay. Maybe a couple of little through balls into the byline area for Maupay to cut back. I'm just thinking of different areas in which Everton can really exploit the way that they have their defensive stability. Gray and Gordon are very, very fast, and they can use that pace to their advantage, especially if they're so defensively sound, which they are. They've clearly gotten something here, and I think with Pickford, who did have to make a couple of saves against the likes of Liverpool, against the likes of West Ham specifically, I think that Everton are really on the right track, and I think that they're definitely doing something right. They are managing to grind out results, and they've now got their first win on the board, which is massive for them. But the draws are showing that they're not giving up, they're not losing hope, and they've got a fighting spirit about them. I think Frank Lampard has instilled that in the players, and the way he's got them set up is very defensively sound. Going forwards, I think you'll see Dominic Calvert-Lewin come into the side, and I think he'll offer a lot more in terms of those areas that I mentioned here and here, just to give Everton a little bit of an outlet. Then when they get a bit more comfortable and they're more in tune with each other, they can start dominating possession, they can start trying to really work the way the ball can move around the pitch, and then take up these areas in the pitch once they have the entire squad and the entire team moved forward a good 10-15 yards. But overall, it's a fantastic start for Everton. I think that they are absolutely brilliant at the moment defensively. Offensively, they need to do a little bit of work. They've only scored 5 goals. But I think Frank Lampard has done the right thing in making sure that that defence is solid. And at the moment, all signs point to that he's done the right job here, and this team is very difficult to break down, as we have just explained. Very good stuff for Everton. I look forward to seeing what they do next. Frank Lampard needs to be given a lot of credit here. It was a difficult start to the season, especially with Liverpool and Chelsea, and I really do think they've come out of it on the better side. I think defensively they are very, very good, and while they are not amazing attacking-wise, I do think they've got some players to come back. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be an absolute game changer when it comes to bringing the ball up the pitch and making sure that they can get it to stick in those areas further up the pitch. Anthony Gordon and Demarai Gray should be able to come into their own, and offensively Everton should be able to progress forwards and become a little bit more of a possession team, one that can be able to break down defences with that comfort and solidity that they have created for themselves. I do think that it's definitely positive building blocks to go forwards, and it's going to be very exciting to see how Everton then transform as the season goes on. Definitely some positive signs, and I think Frank Lampard needs to be given a lot of credit for that. Doing okay so far. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on Everton are. Are you an Everton fan? Please let me know what you think of your side at the moment. You can also tell me about how you think Everton are going to finish come the end of the season. Are you impressed with how Frank Lampard has made them defensively more sound? How do you think they're going to go forwards? I'm really interested to know. Of course, you can always let me know on Twitter. You can find me at Zekko64. That's generally where I post when my videos go live. But of course, you can always know that if you hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Like I said, that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.